Welcome to episode 25 of the Mainly Golf Show. I'm Jack Milner, also known as Twig, joined by the Sticky Bandits once again. Hep's in his finest polo shirt, and Marv
Hi
is
guys.
ready for bed. We're here to look at the. Well, I suppose we're not really here to look at the Omega European Masters because these two idiots don't like the DP World Tour. um,
What?
but we're here on the eve. It's the PGA Tour is finished for another season. The 2023-2024 season came to a culmination last week in the Tour Championship at Eastlake. Scottie Scheffler finished with a final score of 30 under on the handicap, but I don't think any of the three of us watched a single shot last week. Would that be correct? I know I didn't watch anything. You two?
Nope.
Yep, correct.
Is that not an indictment of the system and the format that when you should be celebrating a champion, which Scheffler is like winner of what, 8 times on tour this year, which is, I think, only Tiger has bettered that in the modern era. Not anything pre-1980s. And yet none of us could be interested to watch. Is that not that's on the PGA Tour's fault, right? We're all golf fans. If it was deemed interesting to watch, we'd have watched it, but we didn't. So
I think there's a bit of fatigue as well in there, right? It's a long season. It's the events are very similar. Like by the time you get through the majors and then you get to this, and no one really cares about who wins the Fedex Cup. But I mean, it also should probably have been more unfair to Scheffler. Like it was, we didn't watch it because he was out ahead. He had his 2-shot lead anyway. He then had a great first round, and it was just sort of done. But if anything, to be fair to how he played this year, he should have started with a 6-shot lead anyway.
or he should have been like pretty much guaranteed of the 25 million bonus because of his season. But the rest of the field still have a really good championship to play, and Scheffler can kind of play with the freedom knowing I'm still going to bag this big windfall, but we've still got a good tournament going on, which is what the DP World Tour do with the race to Dubai, right? And it's I think it might be called the DP World Championship, whatever it's called. The last event in Dubai where you could effectively, basically, if you win that, there's a good chance. If you're in the top five of the rankings, you win that, you win the extra bonus as well. I think Rover's done it twice, but it doesn't overshadow the event. You could, like you said, I think you both said last week, golf fans are smart enough to know the permutations and okay, if so and so finishes sixth, I've got to finish third or better to win it, blah blah blah. But it doesn't overshadow. It's a big deal to win this tournament itself. It it shouldn't kind of one shouldn't negate the other, which I think the PGA Tour have kind of done with they've made the FedEx Cup, the FedEx playoffs mean more than the Tour Championships, which basically makes it null and void, right? I think Tiger won the Tour Championship. I think somebody else won the FedEx playoffs that year, but Tiger winning the Tour Championship was bigger than the FedEx Cup playoffs. That's probably more of an indictment of Tiger, right? Than than the format. Tiger won and created a big media attention despite everything else around it. And that's probably the sad realization that nobody's anywhere near Tiger's level from media or a playing perspective. Marv, what would you do? Because I think you were in your natural habitat, which is trolling online over the weekend.
I saw those today.
What
I was on one.
what would you do to
I
make?
I, I need to see if I got any replies.
I don't think so. No.
No, probably not.
Just
Although I did realize that the Flushing It account, I think the person is in the UK.
no, tracking.
So yeah,
On
yeah.
the, on the on and on the live payroll, right?
Yeah, well, I think the PGA Tour have just tried to oversimplify it, whether it was for make it easier for players, or just not, you know, it all comes together. But no, I'm certainly not a fan. As you say, Morikawa would have won the stroke play. Well, he technically did win the stroke play because he got the world ranking points for the event that was done on the stroke play. But it would have been much more competitive. And as Hep said, even though it was the long season, etc., we might have tuned in because it was it was an unknown who was going to win it. But it's something like that, and you think Yeah, in the modern, they tried it, they've done that, but the competitive nature of golf now with live with whatever, I think they need to rethink.
I was having a look
Um,
at the old the Super League playoffs, which is very niche reference for anybody overseas. I'm talking about the Giants beforehand, right? They won the League Leader Shield, they ended up in the semi-finals and lost. They went through a phase. Do you remember that there was a thing called club call, where if you got to the final four and you won the regular season, you got to pick your opponent. So I'll pick Halifax had the shitty side of the four. The other two idiots could play against each other. And then that was quickly dropped after 2 or 3 years because it was deemed as disrespectful or, almost like too favoritism. But at least they tried it and they moved on. The fear is Jay Monahan is that stubborn. I don't see him adapting or changing if it's deemed as a failure. He did an interview, I think last week or the week before, he said there's still no progress with Live Golf. At what point does his position become untenable?
it should, for me, it was months ago.
Yeah, I think as soon as he started bringing in 9/11 into the Saudi thing, and
Yeah, that's not
bringing
aged
up
well,
the
has it?
families, and then he had to have a tummy ache and have a bit of a break from the limelight. Yeah, I think he'll do the deal, and part of the deal will be he gets like
10
commission for
million
a
and
year,
fuck off.
and then gets kicked
golden handshake.
golden
Yeah.
handshake for a year,
Yeah.
and then steps aside amicably. But no, they won't change. I mean, all these things, it's always about growing and bringing in new people and
Grow the game.
get. But they've got their market. It does enough. Like, what are they gonna do? Like,
Yeah, the key would be if they lose further sponsors, that then it becomes an issue. Like
Yeah.
most things in America and the land of the free and the great opportunity, whatever it's called, it depends on the monetary aspect of it. And if suddenly things start to struggle from that point, okay, we have to make drastic changes. Providing there's plenty of sponsors and people willing to put their hand in the bucket next season, it's all fine. And
yeah,
the way that go on ahead.
I said, just googling Sanderson's Farms have pulled out like 2024 is going to be their last year. They're not a high profile event, which is maybe why they're pulling out, because maybe they feel like they're getting shafted in the swing season. But if Sanderson Farms is pulling out, we all already had Honda this year.
It was the Honda. I don't know what it's called now. Yeah,
yeah, I can't remember what that was.
there was the Rocket Mortgage, Quicken Loans, whatever it's called. That's now changed. There's another one, right? What was it not called the Wells Fargo? It's no longer the Wells Fargo. The one at Quail Hollow, or it was there last there. They've tried to increase the prize money, and I think it's not the prize money isn't the issue. Scottie Scheffler made $53 million playing golf this year, and you could argue, okay, that's merited given how many times he won. But given his lack of Tiger would make 8 times more off the course than he would on it because of his commercial marketability. It's similar like a Lionel Messi or a Roger Federer, or if you are a sportsman that transcends your sport, you will make more money off of it. That's just a fact. That's something like Rafa Benitez. Rory McIlroy is probably the same, and yet Rory has not won a major in 10 years, as Marv will probably remind us for the next 6 months. Golf's in a tricky position where it needs to make new stars. And in the current auspices of the way golf is presented, it's very hard to present a star to an audience. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we don't have American TV, but I highly doubt that Scotty is on any TV adverts, barring maybe his driver, whatever driver he uses. But I'm just trying to Google if he is in any TV adverts, and nothing comes up.
Any car adverts?
The thing is with Scotty, right? They always say like whether it be like I always compare to pro wrestling, right? Because that's kind of my bread and butter. Men want to go for a beer with him, and women want to take him home. Do you want to go for a pint with Scottie Scheffler? No, not really.
Don't preach at me, Scotty.
Go for a pint with Bryson. Oh, go for a pint with John Daly. Go for a nice bottle of red with someone like Miguel Jimenez. Scheffler, absolutely not. Xander be a good night out in Vegas. Patrick Cantley, absolutely fucking not. But there's a few out there you think, oh, Shane Lowry would be a good night. Get the Guinnesses in. Scheffler, not really.
No.
And that's the problem.
No.
I don't think it's very hard to market him.
But just going to his money that he said he won, stealing a tweet from, I think, Kyle Porter. Scheffler made $12,000 per shot this season. He won so much money. $12,000 a shot.
But there's more prize money. But I think Marv mentioned this last week. It's the middle people who are getting squeezed in all this, and the middle lower ends. Like and this is the problem with having current players still being on in the decision making process, right? They vote for the people at the top end to make more money. It's like the Tories, like a proper Tory government. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the tour average was $1.9 million in earnings this season. It's not too bad, but you obviously got to pay for your caddy and all your travel and your hotels and stuff. And I don't know what they end up with after that because they're also taxed at.
Yeah, that tour average. I'd be curious to know the average for the top 10 compared to say the 90th to 100th and their average, because I imagine that like when you factor in the expenses that are involved with 5-6 days in a hotel and flights and travel, and you've got your own physio and your swing coach and your specialist meals, whatever. Now, fair enough, it's probably been Marv is probably the expert here, right? Wrote off as a business expense. It is still costs that are incurred throughout your process.
Taking out Scotty, the next top 10 averaged, so from 2 to 11, averaged 9.6 million.
Not bad.
So you got Xander. So Scotty was at 29, and this is official, so he doesn't include the what he just won for the tour.
That no FedEx bonuses, Hep, or
yeah, basically,
and no player. What's that program thing?
Yeah, none of that. Like
the social media incentive.
Yeah.
So just from like the official tours, so Scotty got 29, Xander got 18, Decky got 11, Clark and McIlroy got nearly 11, Ludwig got nearly 10, and then you're into the 8s and the 6s. So like in 10th place, Cantley got 6 million. So Xander in second got triple that. Decky in third got.
Cantley didn't even win a tournament.
He didn't. No, he didn't. It's
Yeah,
not bad for not winning a tournament.
Yeah,
and
how many quite high up on.
How many times did he play?
Fucking hell, man. And he pulled out 3 or 4 times anyway with an injury. Made sure he was there for the pairs event in New Orleans because he was favourite.
Yeah.
Pat Cantley made $6 million this year. What a fucking easy job this is.
Was 5 million of that for his new role on the board?
Bonus, yeah. I'm a decision maker.
I think where I stand with it is that golf, to a point, has to realize, and especially in the American market, is behind football, it's behind basketball. I don't know if it's behind baseball, but some of the top baseball players earn crazy salaries, crazy contracts, and you have to reward the top player in the sport, Scheffler this year, for example. But too many players said they want their own slice of the pie when you can't. It has to be some sort of a pyramid type arrangement where the top gets the top dollar, so to speak. And I think that's the problem with Liv, and that's one of the biggest reasons I'm against it. Is it's taken away from that feeder system of you earn your money, not a case of
The word you're looking for, Marv, is a meritocracy.
well, he's kind of cherry picked. Oh, you deserve it. Come here. We'll just pay you this. There's no accountability. There's no you have to play well. Blah blah. All that. Where how does that look to the youth of today? Where it's go out and earn it. Well, I can't because
Marv, do you know what? Marv, do you know what a meritocracy is?
Look, English wasn't my strongest subject at school. Let's just say that.
The notion of a political system in which economic goods or power are vested in individual people based on ability and talent rather than wealth and class or race.
You've Googled
So it's saying,
yeah, I was just saying.
yeah. So which I said and you kind of ignored it. A meritocracy was what the PGA Tour was before Live, where people, if you were good enough and you came through the ranks, you'd make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Not just, oh, well, this guy's got a good name and he's got 4 million followers. Fuck it, give him 60 million and get a 3-year live deal. Like Henrik Stenson signed a live deal as the Ryder Cup captain. I don't think it gets mentioned. It is a disgrace.
Look, Twig, you and me, particularly you, I suppose, but me included, because in 5 years' time, but you and me would love a full head of hair, right? But that's life.
I'm happy being bald.
Well, good on you. I'm not. But it's like that's it.
Turkey as soon as this Tony,
there's only so much. If you work your ass off, but you just don't have it in not everyone can be Tiger Woods. Not everyone can be Scottie Scheffler.
Not everyone can be Hep.
Nobody wants to be.
No, that's. But so I think there has to be some realization that
even Curly.
The level of, well, there's always going to be greed, isn't there? But you have to know your position and your role in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, everyone has got a place to play in the future.
Yeah,
and the DP World Tour, for example, knows where it stands. It is and ultimately a feeder system to the PGA.
If the other way, the flip side of it is that if it wasn't for Tiger Woods, if it wasn't for Rory McIlroy, if it wasn't for, let's be honest, Scottie Scheffler, the way he's going, because it has brought a lot of more eyes onto the sport surely this year.
I disagree.
Well, I'm not crazy, but he's done something that nobody's done for a long time. If that's not increased the golf's stature a little bit, then nothing fucking will it? But
I think on average, like, viewing figures were down 20% across the board. I think McIlroy was.
I just think, yeah.
So, Marv, the thing is as well, what people liked in golf, what people have always liked in any sport, are rivalries. Tiger and Mickelson, Tiger Duval. When it was Spieth with Dave for a while and Rory, and then it was kind of JT and Spieth are friends but they're rivals, and then you argue there's nothing has been. There's been Rahm and Scheffler and McIlroy seen as a big three for 3-4 years. They've never gone like toe to toe of their last round of a major. Like, okay, one guy's too clear. Okay, now the other one's one shot ahead, and then there hasn't been any big rivalry. You think like Faldo and Norman, like in the late 80s, early 90s. Before that, there was Nicholas and Player and Nicholas and Tom Watson. There is nothing I can think of in the last 10, 15 years.
Brooks and Bryson, and just say, right, let's just for the cameras, let's just have a feud and just make it interesting.
But I couldn't tell you. I've not watched anything of Live Golf, and
no, they don't care about each other now on Live.
But I mean, at least with Phil and Tiger, I don't think they really hated each other. I just think they were that competitive type of people where they want to win. And Tiger was like that with everyone, right? I don't care who the fuck you are. I want to beat you. But Phil was the only one who was like very MAGA type term, right? Alpha enough to kind of like go with him. And like Phil was on the scene 3-4 years before him.
Well, it's
everyone's Marv. You've said this before. Everyone's too nice.
Well, that's it. I said I think that's it. I said probably not Scheffler too much, but certainly I'd throw Rory in that. Without players like that, they've brought the sport up in certain areas, and Tiger was obviously the first to do it in a way that these people have come along and now think they deserve. Well, can't they fucking
You're
does,
right.
doesn't it?
You're the entitlement.
They think they're entitled to this life and to earn all this money that, hold on, if you might be you want what Scheffler's got, you want what Tiger had, blah blah blah. But if it wasn't for them players, they wouldn't have brought the game up to where it is. Do you know what I mean? So it's, but that's across the board, isn't it? Like in all sports, it's got to the point where it's just everything's fucked, to be honest. And the liver's just kind of like poured fuel on the fire in a way.
I mean, I don't think that's isolated as golf. That's just in life,
No,
man.
that's what I mean. Yeah, true.
Football
It
was
is.
on
Oh yeah,
200 grand
yeah.
a week. Like fucking Marto was on 300 grand a week at United. Like, didn't play a game for the last 6 months. He trousered 9 million.
What? It,
It's
is
a game.
Dream.
It's not. It's not. I'm not.
Where they're looking for 2%
To a
gains
pot.
on
To a pot.
markets.
I think that probably coming from the point of view of you can't blame them for getting handed the contract.
Absolutely.
But then the issue is which bellend gave him the contract in the first place. And
Jay Monahan.
but as you say, it's
You look at the management of the PGA Tour, right, and how they were so dismissive of Liv without understanding how much wealth they had behind them.
somebody else in some other could have planned this completely in a different way, couldn't they? And if we could be sat here now with golf being everybody on the same page, this unbelievable tour, and the shit would have never happened if somebody had the foresight to see where it was going.
Mav, if you look at the tour championship was like the 30 best players on the tour. If you take out say the bottom half dozen, and you add in Kopka and Bryson and Joaquin Neiman and Tyrrell and who else? Someone like
that Spanish cunt.
Sergio. You know what I mean? Someone like a Sergio or a Ram. And then a couple of others that I probably missed. But it just adds a bit more interest to it. It's tricky.
Yeah,
I don't think no one's come out of this covered in glory.
No, well, it's same for, let's be honest, all sports, isn't it? Barring American football and basketball, because it's kind of it's a closed shop in a way, isn't it? But football with everything with Saudi and players going over there, and is Ivan Toney now signed his deal for Saudi?
Yeah.
350 grand a week, fair play to him.
So it's unfortunate.
Now that is a man that will. Speaking of bonus reels, he'll have a few slots. I don't think there's any problems playing.
I don't know. Can he bet? Well, he'll be backing himself to score an hat-trick every fucking week. Then, won't he?
Please gamble. Anybody listening out there, please gamble responsibly. Go to gamcare.org. 18 plus, gamble responsibly.
Earning 350 grand a week, surely don't need to worry about gambling responsibly.
Imagine how much you'd be punting Marv on. What's that, like 18 million a year?
Well,
how much money could you get into a meme coin? So we can buy the market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, that's our dissection of the.
No, but the one thing, I said, I think the main thing to say is that they said Scottie has dominated this year, and in hindsight, it should have just been a lump job at the beginning of the week.
Might be next season
because it's been the right ending. Let's be honest, Scottie deserved.
Yeah, and very much deserved. Right. The annoying thing is between us in a group chat, we were looking at this from last July, August. Like I think one tournament he gained was it 11 strokes on the field tee to green, and finished like tied fifth. Like how is this possible? He's absolutely murdering the field. Tee to green. He's got a new putter this year. It's worked wonders, but I think his mentality. I think when you start to beat fields, I wouldn't say as easily as he's done, but as quite comfortably as he's done, without really I think the Masters and the Olympics are the only time you've really seen him get very animated. Apart from that, it's been pretty much straightforward. That probably signifies the importance of the two events comparatively to the others. But he never really looked in doubt at winning the Masters from the end of the third round on Saturday. Um, what price? I mean, what price do you think he'll be next year for a lot of tournaments? On what price would you back him at?
I don't think he can be much shorter than the 7-2, 4-1
I'd say
he's
the
been.
4.92. My guess would be.
You should probably bet him every fucking week.
Just back him 8 places each way.
So this season, he tee to green, he was 0.9 shots around better than second place Sander at 2.4 shots gained. And last season, he was also number one, obviously, by 0.7 shots from McIlroy. Like 0.7 second. Like he's
so he's got better.
Of just.
Am I thinking, Hep, is he only like, he's like 28, 29, right?
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
I mean, golfers tend to peak. It's different nowadays. I think, say, you go back 20, 25 years ago, golfers peaked in their mid-late 20s, and the lifestyle got caught up with them. You don't imagine Scheffler living a very like hectic lifestyle, or doing anything that's going to like harm his body or his athleticism. You look at Rory's. I think Rory's 35, 36. He looks in just as good nick as he did probably. Even if I think Rory is in better condition than he was 5, 10 years ago. He was really scrawny, very lean, right? And then he's actually started going to the gym.
I wonder if Scheffler, as much as he might not have the appeal, for sponsorship and stuff, but he's making that much now that you get the impression that he'd probably turn it down. Why would he need to bother? Just concentrate on my golf. Keep it simple.
Then on what the commercial aspect?
Yeah, there's no point going over the top because, committed to do this, do that.
And you'd argue, Marv, as well. Beforehand, people like a Tiger or Monday, right? Someone like a Brooks or a Rory, a Bryson. I always got the impression Rory sought after fame. I know he always tried to play it down, but I think
maybe
Rory
a bit,
liked being a celebrity. He liked being the guy. I can't imagine Scottie like being. I said, Scottie's not asked. I'm gonna go home, go back to the kid, go back to the wife. I'll be at church on Sunday morning, and I'll be at the range in the afternoon when he goes for a nap.
Yeah, Scottie's not turning up on no late night talk show.
He's not turning up like
that,
a movie premiere, is he? With his new suit, like fuck that. Watching Jimmy Kimmel, leave me alone.
Yeah,
he'll be around for a long time.
But from that aspect, he's probably, you argue, he's even more dangerous because
I think so.
There is nothing that can really affect him in terms of vices or worries.
Yeah, no, it's not flying to Vegas every weekend and having to deal with all that, is it?
I mean, I'm going to be flying to Vegas in April with WrestleMania, hopefully.
Getting hanging out in nightclubs.
How do you know about nightclubs? When was the last time you were in a nightclub?
No, that's what a lot of people can't believe how Tiger managed to live that double life. That
How did he get away with it for so long?
Yeah, because as you say, because Scottie, keep it simple, focus family and golf.
Boring bastard.
And so
he needs to do like a Hep, he needs to like renovate a house or something. Get himself a new hobby. Put some shelves up. Get some flat pack.
The guy doesn't have to do it. He can pay someone to do it.
Well,
but yeah, literally, if he wants to keep playing, because like I don't know, is there any need? Like if I was him, I'd just retire now. I've had enough money. What's the point doing it again?
He said he likes competing.
Yeah, but that's it. If he's,
I think that's why. That's why he's Scottie Scheffler and you're Tom Helliwell.
We'll see him in Gloucestershire anytime soon.
That's why I am. That's why. Let's be honest. It's that mentality, isn't it?
It's a bit like I've always say, don't we, about one of the final scenes in Time in Our Hands when Del Boy's like, "We can double our money here.
Yeah, it's
Del, we're not in the game anymore." Eh, well,
It's a good opportunity.
a very hard. I'm sure it's very people to have that focus to achieve something. I'd say it's that's who they are inside. Very rarely do they just turn around and say, "I'm done. I'm good. I'm happy now." No, they just why keep going, win again, win again.
I mean,
And you need
it's not quite the same comparison, right? But with trying to juggle all these social pages, and a mate of mine has got a couple of pages. You got like the Fast Show and Early Doors. If you've never seen the TV show Early Doors, it's brilliant. You both love it. It's a bit like it's from the same writers as the Royal Family. Phil
I
Neely.
was never a big fan of that, but anyway, go on.
Anyway, he's got three social pages, three. So, and I told him for about 18 months, stick with Instagram. It will work in the end. And he persevered. And he's now got about 150,000 followers. But he says, I don't know how you carry on with like I've got about 30 different channels, right? Because if I stop, I'll just stop. And then what else want to do? So even Hep doesn't even play Scrabble with me anymore. We used to do.
I'll play Scrabble, yeah.
What do you mean? What are you gonna do, Mav? You've got to just keep grafting until you retire. Then you do what?
Until that one coin goes to the fucking moon, baby.
He wants to spend time with the kid.
Like if one of these meme pods went like up by 100 and you cashed out for 4 million, there's no way you just sit there and like live off the interest. You'd have to do something.
10 into 8.
Exactly. We can double our money.
Banger.
Fucking bagatelle. Class game though.
Tell you what, I would build my own life-size bagatelle.
A bit like a tipping point, stick it at the top. And now, do you remember this one? You go, Eight, fucking 3. That's your third best number. It's not the best number, though, is it? Okay.
We laughed at that he'd be paying us to drop the discs and push the sliding.
No, I'll be paying some 22-year-old Swedish girl called Helga to do it for me. Yes. There you go. OnlyFans for bagatelle merchants. In other news, it's the Omega European Masters this week. Do you two have any opinion or any? Would you be watching any of this week's golf?
I mean, it's a very pretty course. I might
It's a wonderful course.
I'm looking at some of the pictures.
The early prices were very appealing if you get on.
I am going to the in-laws for the weekend, so I'm not sure
Why?
how much I'll be able.
Why are you off to London in the middle of September, you fish?
You gotta do these things now and again, aren't you? So I'm dropping off the missus whilst I go to
Do you want to go back home?
go to Mallorca with the lads. So
Oh, heads off to Shagaloaf.
price worth paying.
So Manacero, I flagged him up last week. He's really short now. Manacero opened up at 35s. Am I on Manacero?
No, not yet.
Oh. Manacero opened up at 35s, and now he's 22. That's really short. I do think he'll go well, and his compatriot Guido Migliozzi will do very well. Far too short.
Okay. I have just noticed that Francesco Molinari is 125 to 1. Fucking hell's he slipped down the pecking order.
And the 125 to 1 for any old tournament, a DP Tour tournament, yeah. It's his type of course as well. You've got to be very straight, find a lot of greens. The rough will be tough. It's a tough course. I'll put two up that prices that I haven't really got. Beef Johnson. He's been playing so well to green. Like he suffered a lot from depression.
Did he stop playing for a while? He was on Sky Sports, wasn't he, commentating?
He he had mental health problems, right? I think he had depression, and then he got married, had their first kid, and then he came back and then he got injured, and he came back about 6 weeks ago. But if you follow his stats and you look at the way he's played, he's just been so cool with the putter. Tee to green, he's been really, really impressive.
So we're saying just back him until he wins?
I think so. But like he's overpriced based on his ability and his form.
I'm going in.
I think he's 90 to 1, 8 places. Marcus is pronounced Shinhult for Scandinavian fans out there. He's 100. I think he's 110 to 1, 8 places. He won the British Masters a few years ago. He's kind of trended up recently. Another guy, you have to be very straight off the tee, very, very dialed in terms of greens and regulation. He's another one on the list. I'll give one more name as well. Jakob Olsen is the second best amateur in the world at the minute. No relation to Thorbjorn, another Norwegian guy. Norwegian is Danish, but he played really well last week. He was leading after I think the second round or in between the second round, and then faded away. He's only 21 years old. He's been nibbled already. I think he was 110 to 1 this morning. Dickhead him. He's still get 90s and 8 places, but Jakob Olesen is a big talent. He'll be a big name in the world of golf. So you're 3 to follow from Twig for the secondary tour. Look at me, I feel like a League One football tipster. Beef Johnston, Marcus Shinholt, and Jakob Olesen.
For some reason, all those bets I put on for you earlier, I did at 10 places.
You did what?
I did 10 places for some reason.
Fuck's sake, you are of such intelligence, and you can't follow simple instructions.
I was having a piss whilst I was doing it, all right?
How many hands? How could you even do that?
Well, one for the phone, one for the cock.
Apple.
Not that big.
Fuck's sake.
My only
I
time
hope your mother-in-law doesn't listen to this podcast.
You are nagging her. She ain't making it this far.
Well, after your cock up last week, I'm sorry.
You were nagging me all fucking day. Right, I'll do this.
You know why? I'm forced to agree to this. Sometimes you need nagging. Exactly. And then when she tells you need nagging, do you do that big sigh as well?
Yeah.
Yes, dear.
Can we just talk about I did log into my Twitter just to see if anybody had replied, and
Twitch.
I did get a
Twitter.
Yeah, mainly Golf Marv.
Twitter, not Twitch.
Yeah, Twitter.
He said
Twitter. I don't call it X. I'm old school.
Fuck Elon Musk.
I did get a reply from Tracking Scheffler because I was taking the piss out of Rory. They seem to the Tracking Scheffler and Tracking Rory seem to have a bit of a bromance going on. But anyway, no, let's just all congratulate Joey Chestnut has just eaten 83 hot dogs in 10 minutes to shatter his previous world record. How do you eat 82 hot dogs in 10 minutes? Just
don't swallow. Don't chew.
And then
I mean, there was a time, Marv, when you were able to eat a Big Mac meal in 29.87 seconds.
And then they present. It looks as though they presented him with a WWE heavyweight championship belt.
Yeah, they're very good with that type of branding. Marv, do you want to inform our listeners of what the Big Mac challenge is?
It was the Big Mac challenge was. It started off. Did it start off if you could eat a Big Mac within a minute? And then we realized that you're too easy. So then we changed it to 30 seconds.
30 seconds for a Big Mac.
Yeah. That's going back probably 10 years, or even more than 10 years.
11, I think 13 years ago. Basically, Marv completed the Big Mac challenge with such ease.
Did actually, yeah, the original.
She got married at the weekend, actually, Natalie. So congratulations to Miss, whatever her name is now, Mrs. But the first time a friend of ours, then girlfriend, met Marv here, she saw him try to complete the Big Mac challenge and didn't realize he was actually choking. He thought Marv was putting on such a show and being such a theatrical person with it. Like, oh, he's such a showman as that Marv. He's actually choking to death.
Do you know, now you say that, the Big Mac challenge must have started long before. So it 2008, 2009.
I think 2010.
Because when I tried that again, I'd obviously had no practice at that point.
Yeah.
Um,
You had no time on the fucking the
no,
driving
that was
range.
just no. That
Yeah,
was just
I remember saying like, Marv, what a guy Marv is. He's putting on such a show here. Like, I think he's actually joking here. Yeah, he's doing it for attention. And then suddenly that.
I haven't that thing is that was when I was back. I was skinnier, so
You sure?
I could complete. Yeah, I could complete the challenge when I wasn't skinny. I couldn't complete the challenge when I was skinnier. Now I'm not skinny anymore. Maybe I should try the challenge again. Maybe we should film it on next week's show.
This is almost like Bryson. Like he's trying to find the perfect physique for peak performance.
In fact, if we'd have talked about this, I'd have gone and bought one ready for
All right,
tonight.
well, next week, right? It's Hep swung song. Hep's actually got a week off from life meaning work and the missus. So he'll be in celebratory mood next Monday. Marv, if you go buy a couple of Big Macs, I will pay for them myself to see you do the Big Mac challenge live on air. This look, we actually have a chance of actually going viral for a reel. I'll actually speak to one of our producers for a friend of mine's company, and we'll get a stopwatch on screen.
It's only fair.
I need some practice for this.
Right, well there you go. There's your hook for next week.
Yeah. This needs to be a. Yeah, I can't have had a big Nando's lunch on the same day.
Oh,
for example,
fuck's sake, man! You gotta have like this Nando's lunch.
I need. Yeah, I'm gonna need to build up for this. Be absolutely starving by the time the Big Mac challenge comes along.
Starving by name, Marvin by name. Well, there you go.
Yeah,
That's the Mainly Golf Show. That's 25 episodes of us talking nonsense for all 9 listeners out there. If you are punting this week on the DP World Tour, these two won't be. Beef Johnson, Marcus Shinholt,
I'm on beef. I'm on beef.
Jakob Ollison. And if you're on next week and your hook is Marv will be doing the Big Match Challenge live on air next week. And that is a guarantee that won't be broken. So tune in for that. I've been Twig, he's been Hep, and he has been Magic Marv, and we'll see you all next week. Ta-ra.